a new anime that's currently like going on, and we wait on the second season to come out this year. I want to say, and that's the Rising Shield Hero, which was definitely a surprisingly really good anime because once you think about the premise of it's another one. What's the name of those anime, Fred? Isekai anime where the people are transported somewhere else. You think about every weapon that everyone else has, and this guy has a shield. Like I'll bet he drawing the short fork. I mean, short straw. Like, it's like I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, but it was really good.
I'll let you know. Basically, that wasn't the catch. That was not the catch. The catch was anime fans ended up watching it because it was part of the new season, and then something happened. That thing that happened was the false rape accusation, basically, the spoilers, that actually happened to the main character. That's what really set the anime on fire because memes started trending on it. Everything else started shooting up and at it. And I was watching this basically live as it was happening. I was a week out. I didn't know if I was going to watch it or not. And all of a sudden, these memes started popping up, and I was like, I'm watching it. So
you really like hitting them controversial, don't you, boy? God, dog.
It was controversial. It was like, this is different. This is nothing that's really been seen before. You're the one who loves Goblin Slayer, just saying. But that's a different can of worms. Anyway, point being, I've never had that I can remember anyway. I've never had a main character actually have an accusation like that in anime and actually have to deal with the repercussions and see what it's. But he was innocent the whole time, which we saw he was innocent.
Okay.
Listen. That's not why I started watching that.
That is not the reason I started watching that anime.
I just heard it was good, man. Like
it's just a good show. Like that is not what did it, because y'all told me about it, so I was late as I have been to most things. And I think like most people, Rising of the Shield Hero, I was like a lot of people in the world that he was in. I was like, why do I want to watch the guy with the shield? So I started watching anime, and it's like, okay, he the underdog. Let's see what he got, and then he starts to seem to be a guy who cares, and even though he want to pretend like he don't, especially with
Raftalia?
And what's the other girl he got with him?
Oh, he got Raftalia, and I think it's Phila.
Right, he tries to care, and then I think at one point, how everybody's against him, right? Like the moment he shows up and how he's like, I'm going to do what I need to do for me and to take care of people. And how he kind of cleaned up a lot of their messes and stuff like that. Like that's what kind of got me, that he was going around. And despite what everybody was saying, like he was still trying to do the right thing. And I kind of liked the ending of the first season, how it kind of came full circle for him and whatnot. It was a really good anime, one that I'm looking forward to the second season. Like I will be on that one and watching it as it go through. But it's a great all around show. It does piss you off. Like I don't remember who. Yeah. I think it might have been Paul who told me, like, bro, that shit is going to piss you off sometime. And it was like there was plenty of episodes where it's kind of like cause Lost in Space.
Yeah. You just can't win. It's like gotta take an L every day.
And you want to stop watching it, but you keep watching it because you want to know what happens, but it keep pissing you off. Like, is that kind of love-hate relationship with that show? But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I wrapped. That's one of the anime. It caught me quick that y'all told me to watch, and I finished it quick. Like, it didn't take me long to get through. Like, I was actually disappointed that I was getting to the episode. I was like, damn, I only got 2 more left. Damn, like, animes that was weird to me. Like, I was sad that I was finished with it.
But even when now, sorry, go ahead.
And like another thing that that got me was a lot of anime that I'm seeing. I think around the same time I was picking that one up, I think I picked up Wise Man's Grandchild the time I was reincarnated as a slime. You have a lot of these characters who are just overpowered as hell, and I'm not just a huge fan of that. I like my heroes to really go through some shit. That's probably why I love Vegeta so much, because like the guy doesn't win. You know what I'm saying? But I know once he finally does get that big win, it'll mean that much more. And like in Rise of Sheer Hero, the guy, like back to what you know what I'm saying, Legit Anime was saying, like that rape accusation was a pretty big deal. The fact that the one person who was on the team betrayed him. It's like the king really don't miss. It's like so many different things. And so to see that, like that whole arc, and for him to get to where he's at by the end of that anime, I really try. I'm not really a big fan of people just being handed like this great power, you know?
Agreed.
Right.
And see, actually,
one thing I would say that was kind of interesting is as we watched him in his journey, his weapon, his shield, really
upgrading
in the amount of things and attacks and things that he could do. I don't know if I don't know if I like it or dislike it, but it seems that the other heroes were very one-dimensional as far as like what attacks they could do, right? Like in battles that we saw, like they kept cycling through, like they may have had 1, 2, or 3 attacks. I don't remember. Each one seemed to have 1 or 2, 3, 2 or 3 things that they could do, but he didn't, right? I think that I don't know if I liked that or didn't like it because like as we got toward the end of the anime and we got to the third wave and whatever the case may be or whatever. And we saw them fight, like they weren't doing anything. Like they had these weapons, but didn't do anything.
But see, that's the emphasis on what's happening on the anime that I liked. It emphasized him just growing and learning how the game works. He learned, he actually sat down and listened while all them out went on basic adventures and just boosted, level up. They never actually learned the mechanics of the game, which we all know basically.
Say that because they did teach him some stuff that he didn't know that I think are very important mechanics of the game. Like as playing MMOs, right? Like you playing it, like that stuff that like I think I ain't gonna say like he learned all the mechanics of the game because there was some stuff that he needed that found out helped him out a great deal. So I think they both knew valuable things to one another.
I was going off the fact that basically they level capped him. Since they level capped him and they kept leveling up, he had to use his resources and find out what are the mechanics he could use to help him in a fight in the game. Whereas they just kept getting they basically tried to OP themselves and they were able to handle all the minor issues. But when like an actual boss came by, they didn't have enough versatility in their abilities. It's like they have like one attack. Let's say a sword slash attack, right? They just boosted that one attack and didn't bother to learn other ones that might help.
It worked for Zenitsu.
Yes, but it's fine whenever you have one character that does it, not when a bunch of people do it.
Works for Zenitsu.
I get that, but like it's also the fact that like, well, I have a shield. It's hard for me to do shit with the shield. And that I have to think that much more creative since I have a shield. Like, think about if you get into a fight. I ain't gonna say you get into a fight because you just hit somebody inside the head with a damn shield. But hey, if I got a sword, it's easier for me to like cut, stab, slash. You know what I'm saying? But like, this shield, I gotta really be creative with this shit.
Captain America.
Yeah, that man know how to work a damn shield. For real, that man know how to work a damn shield.
But the point is, sorry, go ahead. Well, basically, I was going to wrap my stuff up by saying it was like my favorite new anime of last year. Out of all the new animes that came out, it definitely was my #1 slot. Just because of how I liked how the development happened between the two characters. The two side characters with Philo and Ractalia. Besides Naofumi, they also ended up growing and kind of progressing. But
that's a big statement, Fred.
That is a very bold statement, Fred.
Wow, I didn't know it was your favorite new one of last year.
Yeah, it was a favorite new one of the last year. Because there was Fire Force, there was Demon Slayer, which by the way, Demon Slayer actually is the second spot of the new anime from last year. But again, there's Vinland Saga probably takes third.
Jesus, this is some
I'm just going off new anime that came out last year. But regardless,
I get you. I'm just thinking about all the anime you just named. I'm thinking like,
I mean, there's a bunch of them, but just going off that
because
because
good ones, dog. damn good ones, man.
They're good, but no, for me, like it's the story to be flowed. Because to me, it honestly felt like a breath of fresh air. There was something different about this anime compared to everything else. Because again, like you said, a Wise Man's Grandchild came out. Before that, what was I watching right before that? I was watching My Hero actually. So I was watching My Hero, and then I was so basically you see a kid who's learning how to control his powers, who's overpowered, but he has the power, right? And then you see basically 100% underdog, like you mentioned. And to me, it's just like, I mean, it's a really good story, and I really was upset that it basically ended where it ended. I wanted to go further. Oh, and the pleasure of I forgot the girl's name. I'm just calling her bitch. Of her getting named bitch and getting named slut.
Oh
That was
my God! So listen,
revenge. It's
listen,
revenge.
hold up. Okay,
Fred,
listen.
It's
Hey,
revenge.
man, I didn't know where you were going.
You gotta
now.
start
From the beginning.
in your statements a little better than that. You
The
start
man, he said pleasure.
So
You
I'll explain it like this. For anyone who's
watching
watching
the hentai
anime,
version of this, man?
No.
Like, what is happening?
no. So anybody wondering about that, basically, the girl who accused the main character of a false rape allegation, it turns out her and her dad were in cahoots to get rid of the Shield hero. It turns out that her mother was actually the queen, and in that kingdom, the queen actually is the main central royal figurehead
it's
above
a
the king.
matriarchal society.
Exactly. And they
Women
actually
don't like women, Fred.
I didn't even know the regular way for the regular. I don't know what the name is for the regular one, but anyway.
The regular way? You mean
yeah.
the men way, Fred? That's offensive.
Oh,
Historically, it's been happening a lot, so
Said
that's the one that we know from history.
the regular way. To all the female viewers out there, we do not condone this sort of talk.
Okay.
That's why we stopped.
But anyway, going back, she ends up actually getting caught. They end up actually turning out that the king and his daughter, by the way, who was the one who accused him, they actually end up getting caught, and the queen actually punishes her by changing her adventure name and changing her actual name as punishment.
Let's be real. That punishment didn't mean shit because they still free to roam about, and they even attempted to kill him again. That punishment didn't mean shit.
At the moment when that episode aired,
I ain't gonna say pleasure, but it was satisfying.
I mean,
it was satisfying. It was satisfying at the moment, yes.
I wasn't satisfied with it. We should have chopped them heads off.
Yeah,
but he showed that he was a better hero by sparing their lives and just giving them the torch.
I'm not a better hero.
Yeah, he's definitely a better hero than Primal Kage would have been. So hey, that gives him points because I probably would cut their heads off too. So what it is.
That's true, because basically to me it felt like a full forgiveness. Not really forgiveness, but basically he realized that they need people to help fight, so he's more of being the bigger person.
Yeah.
Off with their heads.
Oh my goodness.